I started practice here in Houma in January 1978.
1973.
Here in 91.
1987.
1984.
I began to practice in 1954 in Franklin, Louisiana.
When I was a kid, my dream was to be a carrier pilot. That was what I really wanted to do. But by the time I was 12 years old, I could no longer read the blackboard in school. I couldn't see anything.
My father was a physician, his father was a physician.
I'm a native of Houma. I was born and raised here.
We went to the ophthalmologist, and obviously I was very myopic and needed glasses.
Dr. H.L. Haydell, who delivered me, he was my family doctor, and he was very cool.
We were driving home, and my dad turned to me and he said, "Well, there goes your chance to be a carrier pilot."
But he encouraged me. If there was one person who encouraged me to practice medicine, it was Dr. H.L. Haydell.
And I thought, well, that's really lousy. And then I said to him almost immediately, okay, then I want to be a doctor.
Well, I'm a local. Grew up here, went to school here.
I was born in Thibodeau on Lagarde Street in 1927. My father was a country dentist, and that's how I kind of got into it.
There had been a lot of illnesses in my family, and I kind of started that when I guess I was in high school.
And my mother actually worked here at the hospital, and it was through her connections with one of the original administrator, Mother Blanche, that I was able to get some summer and holiday employment.
You know what you're like when you're young, dumb, and stupid, right? So it evolved, and I tried to follow the path.
And you say, I think this is what I want to do.
All the way through college, I wasn't really sure that I wanted to do it, and then I was like, yeah, I do.
My family was here. I had an extreme interest in coming back to treat my family and friends.
And went to Loyola and finished in 1954 and started practicing in Franklin. And moved to Houma. Well, I moved to Thibodeau for about a year and then moved to Houma in 1970.
I did a fair amount of oncology, I did cardiology, I did critical care. There wasn't anything that I didn't do.
CIS was recruiting, and I got a phone call that said that they might be interested in talking to me.
I saw an ad in the paper. I think it was New England Journal of Medicine. And I said to myself, Louisiana? There's nothing down there but heat and alligators. I'm not going to go there.
And so I came down to Houma, and I liked what I saw, and I told him, I'll do it. So I moved to Houma in 1993.
My wife was pregnant for the 10th child at the time, and I said, I've got to make at least $20,000 a year to be able to survive to raise these 10 kids, man. So
I was doing a program at LSU.
I would interview at locations where I thought I might be willing to live, and I kind of sectioned off an area of southeast Louisiana.
And Dr. Como showed up, and he looked at me and said, well, why don't you come practice with me? And it was like, okay.
But luckily, I ran into Dr. H.L. Haydell. I knew Dr. H.L. and Dickie and Tommy and Jerry's father.
And they said, listen, we got a place for you. We can use you. We're not going to twist your arm. You're welcome here. And I could tell they meant it.
They all welcomed me here and said, we'll find you a place so you can set up an office,
I like the community. I like this hospital.
I like the people, and I moved down and haven't looked back since.
I always relate back to what I call the ABCs of being a good physician. A, you have to be available. C, you have to be credible. But B, you have to be able to shoot the bull.
Take care of the patient. If you've only got one patient to take care of, do the best you can for that one patient.
It's the patients and the staff that make things bearable.
I don't think you can build a practice without being present.
I think my availability has probably been the key to my success.
It was the trust and the respect that the patients gave you and being able to help them.
You have to make yourself available. It's long hours, it's hard work. You're oftentimes not home.
I mean, there were times when 5, 10, 15, 20 years into practice, I'd have extremely frustrating issues, and I just talked to a couple of guys, and I helped me get through it.
The staff was wonderful. We had a wonderful staff on labor and delivery.
I don't see it's me, it's just it's a whole team effort.
I always felt good about my practice of medicine, but the memories are really coming around now. This past week, someone just dropped into my office and left a note of thank you relative to my taking care of her mother 20 years ago.
We're only as good as our last case, and we've got to perform every day in every way.
We never stop going to school.
TGMC provides us with the resources to attain what we do.
I've worked in a hospital environment since I was 15 years old, so it's a special place for me.
The facility has grown. We, of course, have all the subspecialties that we need to practice good medicine.
Without TGMC, I couldn't have practiced. I couldn't have enrolled in maxillofacial surgery.
When I first came to TGMC, I would say the thing that stood out to me was the quality of the nursing care. Now that was something I wasn't really prepared for that, but I was quite awestruck.
But they've given me a lot, and I've been willing to give it back.
You see people that after 15, 20, 25 years we're following them, and they're still here, and that in of itself is a good feeling.
No, I'm afraid it would take a lot more than one word to sum up how much I enjoyed the practice and what it did for me in my life.
Rewarding. I really appreciated the patients. I had some great patients. A lot of them stuck with me, very loyal.
I can't see me doing anything else.
I really liked the operating room. I liked that from the time I was in medical school.
I'm fascinated with the fact that I'm now seeing third generations of families.
TNTC, and it stands for too numerous to count. And so I look back, at the experience, and I think that there were just too many experiences over time.
The nights and the complications and a lot of other things, not so much.
There's the constant battle between enjoyment, frustration,
complications, you have bad outcomes. It's just part of the job. And so you have highs, you have lows, but overall, I've mostly been highs.
Outstanding? Really? I liked it. It was a good practice. I liked the specialty.
Sometimes when I'm just walking across the street, even from the clinic to the hospital, it feels like, well, you feel like you've been doing it forever, but then again, you're thinking, God, it's just going by too quick.
I have no regrets. None. Except for the mosquitoes.
Oh, just know that we're here to do a service to take care of these people. And that's what our job is, to try to help them. And if you watch people, you walk through the hospital and you watch the people working on the floor. No one pays them attention, but everybody just works so hard to do the best job they can to take care of the patients in a place like this.
If it were easy, everyone would do it. That's what always sunk in my mind. You're studying at night, you're trying to memorize all this anatomy, this physiology, all these graphs, all these charts, and I keep asking myself, what am I doing this for? And I look at the guy next to me or the girl next to me, and she says, shut up, get back to work.